Yes.
Tom, if you'd be kind enough to hang on for just a minute, we're going to get Barbara Bush on the line so you can say hi to her.
Fantastic.
Hello?
Is this the one, the only Barbara Bush?
Yes. How are you?
Good. This is the Prophet Rick Craig with the Undisputed Wrestling Show. And before we get started talking to you, if we're able, we've got a guest on the line from hour number 1 that wants to say hello to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
BB Bush, Tom Pritchard, how are you?
Is this Tom?
Yes.
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, but I've been talking to these guys for over an hour, and I don't want to take up any of your time. I just wanted to say hello to you, and I hope things are going well.
I am. How have you been? I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah, well, it has been ages. I realize that, but that's the thing. You know, old workers never die. We just kind of fade away for a little bit.
I know. I know it.
Yeah. Yeah, tremendous. Well, I hope everything's going well with you. I did want to say hi to you, and these guys have a lot of serious questions I want to ask you too. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar
boy.
with
You're in trouble now, Barbara.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Listen, please take care of yourself.
Well, it was good to hear your voice, Tom.
You too. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you again.
Dr. Tom,
okay, Tom,
thank you so much for giving us your time today. We really do appreciate it, and we hope we can talk to you again sometime soon.
You got it, Rick. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Barbara,
brother, man.
Bye, Tom.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Hey, by the way, everybody, it's Barbara Bush.
Yay.
What would you like us to call you this evening? Would you like to be called Barbara or BB or your real name, or what would you like?
Whatever your heart desires. Fine with me.
We've got... I guess the first thing I want to ask you is, how in the world did they come up with that name for you when you got into the WWF at the time, I believe?
My gosh, I have no idea.
It came from the former First Lady, but why Barbara Bush?
I have no idea. I won't even tell you what they were going to call me at first.
Oh, please.
They were going to call me Connie, and my last name was going to be Lingus. So I guess Barbara Bush was way better than that. Yeah. And they said they would never call me the name together. They would either call me Nurse Lingus or Connie, and I'm like, oh my God, that's great! Wow. So I guess BB is way better than that.
Yes, it is. You know, guys, I think we'll call her Papaya for the rest of the night. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah. Alan would like that.
How did you get started in this crazy business called professional wrestling?
Well, I moved to Daytona Beach, probably about 20 years ago, and I worked at Hooters, and the guys started coming in. These guys started coming that did indie shows in Daytona area, and they were like, oh my God, I want you to be my manager. And I'm like, what is that? And they're like, oh, you walk us out to the ring and stuff. And I was like, all right, that sounds fun. So, I did that. And I was like, this is pretty cool. And then I knew Terry Taylor because he lived in Daytona at the time. So I was like, I'm going to send my stuff to WWE and WWF back then and see what happens. So I sent my stuff in, and I didn't hear anything. So I sent it to Kevin Kelly, I believe. And then I didn't hear anything, and I saw Terry Taylor at the gym one night, and he goes, and I was talking to him, and I said, he goes, oh, I'm at WWF now. And I go, oh, really? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, I just sent my stuff there. He goes, who'd you send it to? And I said, Kevin Kelly. And he goes, tell you what, resend it to my name, and I'll see what I can do. And I go, all right. So I did. And it was funny because about 5 days before I got the phone call that I was going to be interviewed and have a tryout in Stamford, Connecticut, I was in the ring, and I sprained my ankle and tore all the ligaments. So I was like, oh, crap. So it was like very bad timing, so I tried to wing it and limp to Connecticut, which wasn't good, but I did it. And, and then I thought, oh, my God, I'm never going to get called back because I couldn't really do any ring work because my foot was like a balloon. But they ended up calling me back, and the rest is history.
We are talking here on the Undisputed Wrestling Show with none other than Barbara Bush. I'm going to call you Kathy. I have to.
Okay, that's okay.
All right. Kathy, can you give us your best cousin Brandy May voice?
Oh, my God.
Come on, you're on the spot
Those
now.
were the, I know. Those were the Tennessee Mountain Boys, and I'm Brandy May.
So that's how you got started in the IWF, right?
Yes, yep. We were the Tennessee Mountain Boys, and we were, the hillbillies.
Was it kind of a playoff of Hillbilly Jim and his gang in the WWF?
Not really at the time. I mean, it was a long time ago, so I don't even think we really thought of that, but they were just fun, and, it was a great time and a great experience. I never thought it would lead to something like that, at the time anyways.
We are also, Kathy, on the air with my co-host Zane Paisley and the Morning Star Will Huckabee. I'm going to kick it over to Zane real quick for you.
Okay.
Well, nice to talk with you. So when you first were introduced in the WWF, you said that your name was possibly going to be Connie or Nurse Lingus. Who
Yes.
presented these ideas to you?
I really have no idea. It was the production crew. And I don't really have like a name, but they just came to me with that, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
So you weren't sitting in Vince's office and he's telling you this.
I know.
I'm just imagining like the scene with Drozdoff. So
no, they came to me and said, "This is what you're going to do," and I was like, "Okay."
And so did they already have the EMT outfit ready for you?
Not at the time, no. They didn't really know if they were going to put me in nurse's outfit or like the EMT outfit I ended up being in.
So how long were you traveling on the road before you were introduced to us on Raw?
Probably a couple weeks, I think.
Were you doing any dark matches, or were they saving you until?
No, I didn't do any dark matches. They were just saving me to make little appearances when they needed like an EMT to come out. Just giving like little hints of me, and then they just put me out there.
Oh, I think that is great, and you were introduced during a special episode of SmackDown for Thanksgiving. That was taped ahead of time. Did you actually watch it with your family over Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh no, actually, I'm from upstate New York, so I think it was in Rochester, I believe, and my whole entire family actually came to the event that night. And I was like, well, Mom and Dad, they're going to rip my shirt off, but that's okay. Just don't look. And I was like, great. They were like, oh my God, my brothers. And yeah, I have 3 brothers, so I don't have any sisters.
That's awesome.
Let's kick it on over to independent wrestler, the Morning Star Will Huckabee.
Miss Kathy, we've talked to a lot of other guys who was working in the WWE during that time. But I would like to hear, from a female's point of view, what was the backstage locker room area like for a female during the Attitude Era?
I mean, it was great. It was like everybody got along like a family. So, it was like the best experience of my life. I can't even say enough about it.
So there was, unlike with the gentlemen, most of the time, all of you ladies got along very well. There was really no backstabbing or catfights or nothing in the female locker room.
No, not really. I mean, not that, and back in the day, I mean, you're talking about Luna, and oh my God, I loved Luna. She was awesome. Rest in peace, Luna. But, it was great.
Another thing I wanted to ask, how hard was it? Because you really didn't come from a wrestling background. And no offense to that. Did you feel like you were treated differently by a lot of the other, not only male wrestlers, but female wrestlers because you didn't have that wrestling background that a lot of them did?
Not really, because I did indie shows for like 3 years before I went into WWE. So, I mean, most of the guys during that time said, I paid my dues, but, I mean, I didn't do a lot of wrestling, but I did a lot of managing in those 3 years, so.
Kathy, I think in the history of professional wrestling, you are the most, how shall I put it, most,
they got my shirt ripped off every week?
Most clothing that got torn off in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I guess what's your thoughts on that? Where they only wanted to focus on a certain area of you all the time? Did it bother you, or was it, you know what? I worked at Hooters anyway. I'm used to it, or what did it make you feel?
No, To be honest with you, it kind of did bother me because I wish they had used I wish they'd gotten into the more that I could wrestle kind of thing. They didn't even like kind of focus on that or see if I could do that, which I can. So it did bother me, but I mean, what are you going to do? I wasn't going to argue.
It seemed like during that era, the wrestling, I'm not going to say it was put on the back burner, but maybe it was a little bit. It was more about looks and starting to get the diva era starting to roll in. I mean, you had the Ivories that could really wrestle, but then they also wanted a lot of eye candy.
Yep.
I guess, do you watch any of the stuff today? And I guess what's your feelings on the divas and their role in the WWE today?
I really don't watch it anymore because it just, I don't know, it kind of makes me sad. But I think I like the WWF era because it was like more eye candy for the girls, and and everybody loved to go watch the guys, and then throw an eye candy match in there. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't think the girls need to wrestle so aggressively, I guess.